everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, my very first video. You are very welcome. So I'm gonna start with who I am. So my name is Aisha Nalusiba. I am originally from Uganda, East Africa, and I am based in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. I am a nurse. I've been working as a nurse since 2011. So it's actually 10 years ago that I graduated from nursing school. So you're probably wondering, what am I doing here? So I'm here to talk about what I know, what I practice, and that is healthcare, nursing. My goal with this channel is to educate and discuss health, general health, overall health. So first and foremost, I want to inform you that this is not a political platform. This is a platform where we discuss and share ideas with each other. And I know that that healthcare and health in general is a political issue, but that's not what we're going to discuss here. We're going to discuss more fun stuff about health and healthcare. So if you want that type of content, please join me. All right, so and my target, of course, is people, it's not of course, but my target is people living in Uganda and those visiting Uganda, of course, and us on the diaspora. If you're in Uganda visiting, you want to know, where do I go when I get sick? Or how do I stay healthy if I'm staying for a longer period of time in Uganda? That is what we're going to talk about. So I love a good old discussion, and I thought that I would invite people, different people from different areas of healthcare or different sectors in healthcare, and discuss this type of issues and topics. So the first that I want to discuss is how to maintain your health while in Uganda. We're going to talk about lifestyle choices. What do you do? Where do you go for a good workout? Where do you go to recharge? Those types of things. And then, of course, my goal is to guide you to better health in Uganda. We're going to, of course, when you discuss health, you have to discuss the healthcare system. How does it work? What comes first? We're going to talk about the different layers and different aspects or different sectors of healthcare. We're going to talk about emergency healthcare in Uganda. Where do you go when an accident has occurred? Do you go to your local clinic? Or where do you go? Depending on where you are, of course, you choose different ideas, and depending on your pockets, I guess. We're going to talk about mental health in Uganda. Where do you go if you don't feel so good about your situation, or you have ideas, you have a need to talk to someone about whatever is going on in your head? Where do you go? We're going to talk about dental health care in Uganda. Do we have that? How does it work? How much does it cost? How do you choose which dentist to go to? We are going to discuss that. We're going to discuss, of course, women's health. Women's health is a big topic, different layers. We're going to talk about men's health. We're going to talk about children's health. Where do you take your children for their checkups? We're going to talk about basically everything under the umbrella of health, because as we all know, health is wealth. If you do not have health, there's really nothing much you can do. You have to stay healthy and you have to gain knowledge about your health. And we're going to talk about when you do get sick, what happens? What type of medication do you take? Do you take your medication? Do you take the medication that your doctor has prescribed, or do you take medication that your friend has told you about? We're going to discuss that because these are the things that I have realized happen in Uganda. I travel back and forth to Uganda at least once a year, sometimes twice, and on a good year, 3 times. Yay. So those are the things that come up. Everything about, oh, I have an itch and I need antibiotics. Okay, do you really need that? We're going to talk about medicines in Uganda, taking your medicines. How do you get your medicine? Do you just get it over the counter, or do you actually need to go to a doctor to prescribe the medication that you're on? And when you do that, a topic that I think is very important is, can you afford the medicine that your doctor has prescribed? And also on top of that, if you are sickly, can you afford healthcare in Uganda? From your pockets every time? Can you afford your family's healthcare? And that brings us to a topic under the umbrella of healthcare, which is insurance. And I want to discuss the issue of insurance. Can everybody in Uganda afford insurance? And what happens to people that are visiting? Do you take your own insurance papers with you? And what happens when you do need to go somewhere and get help before you actually have to fly back to your other country? All right, so what else? We are going to discuss everything, the good, the bad, and the issues that need to be improved. How can we, the public, how can we better our health? How can we access healthcare? How can we access health? That is what I want to talk about. Access to health and all the other good, bad, and great stories. Also, another topic that I want to discuss is beauty and health, because everybody wants to look good. So, what do you do when you want to enhance your beauty one way or another? Some do it, locally, or maybe, I don't know. I want to discuss that. I want to discuss what women and men do in Uganda to enhance their, maybe not also just the visual, but maybe even the internal beauty stuff that you don't see. I want to discuss plastic surgery. I want to discuss health, travel health, where people go to get their beauty enhanced. That is travel healthcare. Because we all know that people leave the country to go somewhere else and pay for whatever they need to get done. How does that work? And who is doing this? How can we get it here? Maybe access to this kind of market, and what is needed to better and to access healthcare in Uganda. Not just the general get a malaria injection or get a tetanus injection or anything, but there's so much more to health and healthcare that is very interesting and very new and very crucial to us, very necessary for us in Uganda to know about, to discuss and teach each other, to know, what do I do when this happens? What do I do if I need to talk to someone? Or what do I do if if I just happen to chew off my tooth? Where do I go? Do we have emergency dental care? I don't even know if we do. So those are the things that we're going to discuss. So what are we going to do? We're going to have dentists here, of course. We're going to have experts in emergency care. I want to invite doctors from different sectors of the healthcare systems, cardiologists, geriatrics, you name it. I want them to come here, not all at once, of course, but one at a time. I want to invite the insurance companies here to discuss what average Ugandan person can do to afford and access healthcare. I want to invite the general public, someone who has knowledge or experience. Of course, there's lots of people that have experience, but something maybe that sticks out, that has body to talk about. Of course, I'm choosing this platform to discuss these different topics because I myself have different experiences from the healthcare system in Uganda, and it's both been good and interesting, and of course there's been a lot of frustration. And I've always thought about, ever since I started practicing as a nurse, my idea was to somehow copy paste, I don't know if that can even be done, but somehow copy paste the healthcare system that we have, this amazing healthcare system that is accessible and available in the European countries that we live in. Many of us from the diaspora, we have access to this, and to me it's just it's important to me that we get some of it, why not all of it, back home to our native countries and our birth countries, because we have so much knowledge. We have so much knowledge, and we have access, and we have, from my experience, we have a lot of experts. We have access to most of it. We do, we actually do. If you look deeper into the healthcare system, we have it, but we need to make this accessible to the general public. And how do we do that? How will we go about throughout the years to make that accessible? And I think the first way to do that is to discuss it, talk about it. What is there? What can we do? People need to know. Like, I have always wondered when I was in Uganda, because I go to the dentist a couple of times a year here in Sweden, and it's really, really expensive. And I have yet to ask people around me in Uganda, even my own family, when was the last time you went to the dentist? Have you ever been to a dentist? I know some of my family members have actually never been to the dentist. And not only because it's a money issue, but because it's something that is not seen to be necessary, which to me is horrible. You have to be able to have, well, the one thing I know is people look at their teeth and say, oh, they're white and nice. And of course, a lot of us Africans in general have good white teeth. And that is just compared to our complexion, our teeth look good. And thank God most of us have good dental health. But when you look deeper under the surface, there's a lot of people that don't have good dental health, and they need this, but it just comes down to pulling out teeth because they cannot mend them. They're either have rotten, or they have just, there's no use to fix the tooth, and there is no money, accessibility, and affordable. So that's, I'm not a dental nurse, but I am a general nurse. We just got into dental care, but something like that. And then when it comes to issues of mental health, I know many people that would like to talk about their issues, and also just to talk about the stigma of having a mental health issue. What I've experienced when it comes to that is also people that actually have a diagnosis but are so ashamed to talk about it, which also leads to them not taking their medication because they don't want to be labeled as a crazy person, because that's what we do. We call these people crazy people. And what happens if you actually have a severe diagnosis as schizophrenia? When you look around Uganda, you can actually see people that have somehow, I'm not giving anybody any diagnosis, it's not my job. All I'm saying is that the people that we call crazy in Uganda have diagnosis, mental health diagnosis that needs to be taken care of. And somehow, somewhere, these people were not on the streets. And if these issues were taken care of, if they had access to this kind of health or just knowledge and awareness, then maybe something different could have happened. All right, so I guess that's what I want to do. And where am I going to be able to do this? Of course, the goal is to be in Uganda when I'm in Uganda, to invite these people and sit down somewhere and discuss these issues. And when I'm not in Uganda, of course, there's a lot of people in the diaspora that have the information that needs to get out there about our healthcare system. And there's also a lot of people in the diaspora that are doing a lot for the healthcare system in Uganda. So of course, I will try and get these people to discuss these issues. And if anything else comes up, of course, under the umbrella of health and healthcare, there are so many things that we can discuss. And I cannot wait to start these conversations. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you'll be back for more videos. And if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and come back. Thank you. Bye.